Spider-Man Far From Home is my favorite Marvel movie, which also means it's my favorite Spider-Man movie. I know, I'm sorry, Tobey Maguire fans, but
I missed the part where that's my problem.
But man, Far From Home is so good. It's a perfect middle ground of what I wanted from a sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming in 2017. The world got introduced to Tom Holland's Spider-Man with the movie Civil War, which is a movie I look back on and don't love, but in that movie we see our new Spider-Man that will be in the MCU. Then we get to Homecoming, and I don't love it. Spider-Man just feels too much like Tony Stark. And as a Spider-Man fan, I just wanted a friendly neighborhood story with street-level crime. But instead, we got a movie where Spider-Man has an AI voice in a suit.
Activating instant kill.
No.
Where Spider-Man is a simp.
Did Liz get a new top?
No, we've seen that before.
Sorry guys, I'm calm now. What I'm trying to say is that this is not my vision of what Spider-Man is to me. Hashtag not my Spider-Man. But then I watched Far From Home, and now I just understand it. I now understand what John Watts, the director, was cooking! And oh boy, did he cook. Spider-Man Far From Home starts with the kids from Midtown High having a little memorial for the Avengers who have just died in the previous movie, Avengers Endgame. Which at first I thought was really weird, but it's kind of grown on me. This movie is the movie where I accept that Spider-Man is part of the MCU, rather than just being mad about it. Anyway, we get shown Peter and Ned talking about how Peter likes MJ, which, I mean, we all seen this coming. And then after that, we see Peter at a charity event set up by his aunt, and Peter is there in full Iron Spider costume, and you can just see how the responsibilities of being Spider-Man has started to affect him, with him basically having a panic attack on stage and ignoring the call from Nick Fury, even though it's his duty to be a superhero. It's all very reminiscent to Iron Man 2, which is when Tony is at his lowest, giving away all his stuff, and giving Stark Industries away to Pepper Potts, and even basically just not wanting to be a superhero anymore. In the nicest way possible, I can say that Peter Parker fell off.
Man, you fell off. And Dick fell off. Man, you fell off.
And so, Peter is basically in the exact same spot that Tony was in Iron Man 2. After this, Peter goes on his school trip to Europe, so he can get away from all this Spider-Man business, and just relax. But Aunt May made sure to pack his suit just in case. So yeah, we kind of just have this whole plane scene, which is kind of just ass in my opinion. In short, Peter gets cucked by this red pill-based Giga Chad named Brad, who's just some like Asian guy who also likes MJ. So him and MJ sit next to each other on the plane ride while Peter gets the chair. They then touch down in Italy. Peter buys MJ a necklace he wants to give to her because he's a simp! Then, while Peter and MJ are just having a nice little stroll through Italy, a giant waterman attacks. You could even call him a Hydro Man. This Hydro Man is one of the elementals we will see in this movie. The other elementals are Sandman, Molten Man, and Cyclone. Man, this fight between Spider-Man and Hydro Man is going to be awesome.
To my very wealthy crew.
Did you guys hear that?
To us. To us. To Mysterio!
Fiend, yeah, fiend, yeah, oh yeah, fiend.
So then Mysterio shows up. He looks awesome. He keeps the comic accurate look with his costume, while still being different enough to not look super goofy. So we see him and Peter work together to take down Hydro Man, and Peter takes a beating in this fight. He puts his life on the line to stop a clock tower from landing on top of an orphanage. But at the end of the fight, Mysterio is the one who takes the credit for this battle, while Peter had to clean up all the destruction Hydro Man left behind. So yeah, after that, Ned kind of just dies, and Nick Fury kidnaps Peter and brings him to a secret shield base, which is when Mysterio and Peter meet for real this time. Wow, it's so cool to see my two favorite superheroes meeting, and just being bros. Seriously, the banter between Mysterio, real name Quentin Beck, and Peter is so fun. I usually can't stand Marvel one-liners, but in this scene it has a purpose. It builds our two heroes' relationship, which is like what 70% of this movie even hinges on. Nick Fury then tells Peter that when Tony died, he left something for him. The thing he left for him are these little glasses called Edith, which, you know, are very Tony Stark-esque. They can basically do anything, and they're hooked up to everything in the world. Any Stark tech Peter can now control. So that's going to be an awesome plot device for this movie. In this scene, Peter gets his shield suit, which is just like a black shield suit, basically. And Brad walks in and is like, "Oh my god, Peter, I'm going to show us to MJ. Oh, you're naked with this lady." And Peter's like, "No, Brad, don't do it. Brad, no." So then Peter, obviously being the intellectual that he is, uses his Edith glasses to kill Brad. I mean, delete the picture off Brad's phone after accidentally launching a drone strike on his own tour bus. Very wholesome chungus of you, Peter. We see a lot of normal, everyday struggles from Peter in this movie, which is what's so good about Spider-Man in this film. He just wants to spend time with MJ and to ask her out. But too bad he can't do that, because he has some Spider-Man business to attend to. There's a giant fire dude, which is about to ruin Prague, the biggest party in the world. So, like Mysterio said, Multi-Man shows up and almost kills Ned in that random on that Ferris wheel. But Mysterio, being the greatest hero, uses his full power to take him down. And then him and Peter get some drinks, and Peter's like, you know, Mysterio, you truly are the greatest hero. You deserve these glasses. Tony Stark would have wanted that. And then he gives the glasses to him. But then when Peter leaves the bar that Mysterio's in, we just kind of begin to realize that nothing's real. I'm not real. Seriously, can someone get me out of here? It's not funny anymore, guys. Seriously. Turns out Mysterio's the bad guy. Yeah? Mysterio just kind of drops a bombshell and is like, "Hey man, I work for Tony Stark. Thanks for giving me these glasses, you stupid spider guy. I'm just gonna go become the greatest hero now," like he wasn't the greatest hero before. And then Mysterio just drops this crazy monologue to him and his gang about how, how he wants to do things, how he wants to run, the place now, how he wants to handle everything that's going on. He basically just talks about how he should have been the one to have these glasses, to have the power to be a superhero, because he is the smartest person in that room. I love that line. It's great. He's saying that Tony Stark, the man-child, drunk alcoholic, should not have been a superhero, and he's also saying that Spider-Man, the hormonal teenager, should not be a superhero, but the people who actually put the time into things should be the real heroes. Which, at a fault, I agree with. I agree with Mysterio in this movie. He could have been the world's greatest hero. Too bad he's a fake. So then MJ shows up, that MJ that I hate, and she's all like, "Hey Peter, are you Spider-Man?" The Peter's all like, "Yeah, no, no, I'm not Spider-Man." And then they see a little funny projector that MJ grabbed at the Molten Man fight, and it shows Cyclone, one of the elementals. And then MJ turns to Peter and goes, "Wait, are you telling me that Mysterio's the bad guy?" And then we see the most goated Spider-Man fight of all time, Mysterio versus Spider-Man. This fight is led up, by the fact that Peter's all like, "Oh my god, I gotta tell Nick Fury that this guy's a fraud." This fight is amazingly choreographed. It also looks great, and it also is genuinely messing with Peter's psyche. Mysterio is almost like a Batman villain with the way he messes with Peter on a mental level, basically blaming Peter for Tony Stark's death. Mysterio is generally my favorite Spider-Man villain. His design is sick. His powers are cool. And on top of that, in this movie, having Mysterio as an ex-Stark employee is a great decision, because this whole movie is basically Peter being like, "I'm not good enough. I'm not the hero Tony would have wanted me to be." And because of that, he gives those funny Edith glasses to Mysterio, thinking that he is the real hero. He is the next Tony Stark. But the problem is that Mysterio is a fake, a phony, setting up these attacks in random places, acting if they are real, while getting innocent people in danger. Mysterio wants to restore faith in humanity now that Tony is gone. A new hero will rise. Mysterio will rise, being the new symbol of peace for the world. But instead of doing it out of the kindness of his heart, he's doing it for basically just power. Basically just being a evil Iron Man. Guys, Mysterio is evil Iron Man, while Spider-Man was the new Iron Man all along. And not as in like, "Oh, I'm just like Iron Man," but more as in like, "I'm the new hope for the world." This movie actually addresses the critique about Spider-Man being too much like Iron Man, with Happy Hogan straight up just saying he will never be like Iron Man, but he can be his own hero, filling the role Tony had. That's why Mysterio works so well as a villain in this movie, because of the fact that he's trying so desperately, grasping to any straws to be Iron Man, when the new, real, upcoming hero is right here, Spider-Man, the entire time. We end the movie with a big old fight between Peter and one of Mysterio's elemental goons, Cyclone, with Peter avoiding all the drones and all the illusion tech, eventually getting up to where Mysterio is, locking in with his Spidey sense and taking down the Man of Mystery. Mysterio then just hits this super hard line casually as he's, as he's on the floor bleeding out. This man just hits the best line in Marvel history.
"You'll see, Peter. People tend to believe nowadays. They'll believe anything."
And so, after the Man of Mystery seems to be defeated, everything goes back to being normal. Peter has the girl of his dreams, and now is on track to lead the Avengers. Except, there's one problem. Mysterio shows up in the Daily Bugle and tells everybody Peter's name, age, location, and even claims Spider-Man is the real bad guy who is controlling the drones the entire time. Then the movie ends. And that's my favorite Spider-Man movie. My favorite Marvel movie. And if you disagree, tell me your favorite Spider-Man movie down in the comments below. Or just tell me I'm an idiot and that I glaze Mysterio and that I'm just the #1 Mysterio glazer. Because you know what they say, any attention is good attention. And people, they will believe anything. Yeah, and that's the end of the video. If you liked it, hit the subscribe button and the like button. This video is supposed to come out for Halloween because I went as Mysterio for Halloween. Pictures here, as you can see, I'm looking awesome. So, yeah. Happy belated Halloween. And happy birthday to all those October birthdays out there. You're the real ones. And anyway, so enough rambling. This has been Roboman, and I'm signing out.